Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Live with Ty. Better please.
We all know him pretty well. And you guys are so excited. I was thinking,
Live with Ty starts now.
Making his first appearance in the 11th episode of Live with Ty, he's a filmmaker, he's the captain of BU men's basketball, and recently was named to the preseason All-Patriot League team. Please welcome Miles Brewster.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you here. I don't know if you heard, I recently retired. You know?
Yeah.
So we
I'm
have.
sorry,
I didn't know it was that funny to you. Thank you. You know, I thank you so much.
No,
My
it's the
time
way
of
you
need.
put it. It's the way you put it.
I recently retired.
I'm actually genuinely I'm sorry for you.
Thank you. It wasn't very
feels-
clear the first time. You know, you're still laughing. We don't know if it's clear, but maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But anyway, recently retired. We had a game yesterday, and it kind of didn't go our way. But
Yes,
you know,
yes.
that's the way the cookie crumbles. But speaking of change, you used to have a different hairstyle now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your decision behind it?
Dude, that's funny. We just played UCLA yesterday. One of their players who has super long dreadlocks was like, "Yo, why you cut the hair?" Like that was the first words he said to me. And it's a question I get a lot, but I feel like, for me, like dreadlocks are extremely like distinct hairstyle, right? And I think that like I was growing them for I think 4 years,
Wow.
and
Some time.
I think I guess I like having a hairstyle like that, you get identified with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the reason why I wanted to cut it was because like just to tell myself that like I'm not identified. Like I'm not my hairstyle, I'm not my clothes, I'm not like anything superficial, right? I'm Miles, and I can have no hair, I can have a lot of hair, I can have a little bit of hair, you know what I mean? So I guess that's the biggest reason. Also, it was just fun. Like it was just fun to just cut it off. Like just like zoom. I was like, oh, whoa,
So it's safe to say like you don't want to be defined by one thing.
Yeah, definitely not.
So the clip we're actually about to show of you here is that you're on the show for basketball, of course.
Of course.
But you are not doing basketball in this clip. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
So this I'm guessing this is from one of your short films.
Yeah.
Can you walk us or tell us a little bit of what's going on? And that's
Well,
you, of course.
there definitely needs to be some context given, but I took a class called Production 2, which I'm sure a lot of comm students know about. And I pitched this film about a white guy who undergoes racial conversion therapy and turns himself black.
Okay. That's
So
pretty out there.
Yeah, that's actually me running in the shot, and the DP got extremely upset with me because I was too into the scene, and then I was like, I had to run out. But yeah, I pitched that film. The class loved it. I was able to write it. I wrote it with my girlfriend, and directed it. We shot it over 2 days. We actually shot it not in this studio, but the studio right over one of the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a really fun experience. Really, I didn't really like. I mean, I feel like every time I take on a new project, I realize I don't really know anything, or those unknown unknowns become known. You know what I mean?
That's
They
how it
become
goes.
known unknowns. I guess is that one way you could put it. So yeah, it was a really fun time, and the idea was really quirky. It was really quirky and really just fun to shoot. And that scene was a crazy long shot I did with the DP Paris. We planned it out. We planned it out, but also we kind of had to do it on the fly. So yeah.
Given that you come from a family of movers and shakers, your brother's
Yeah.
CEO of his own company,
Yes, he
Kinfolk.
is.
What
Yes,
he
he
does
is.
is brilliant.
Yeah.
Your parents, Joe Brewster and Michelle, they're actually Emmy nominated, and they actually won an award for their film.
Mm-hmm.
Given your experience in film, or you kind of entering that landscape,
Yeah.
do they have any impact in that venture that you decide to go on?
For sure. I think before I decided to study film at BU, they didn't really give any they didn't really force me, or they didn't really even suggest that I study film. But after my sophomore year, I was like, bro, I don't know what I want to study. I don't know, like none of my classes are giving me a lot of like inspiration or anything like that. So I was like, and I had always kind of avoided film because of my parents. And I was like, I don't want to do exactly what my parents did. But then I took like an intro class in the film and TV department, and I was like, whoa, this is actually kind of interesting, and like I can actually be really creative. I can be creative, and I can also like. It's both like I think it's like the joining of like creativity and also sort of like regimented and teamwork, like scheduling stuff. So I was like, damn, this actually has some cool stuff going on. And then obviously like anytime I have a rough cut or anything like that, I send it to my parents, or if they have advice for me, over the summer I helped them. I was like PAing for them essentially, being a PA,
Production assistant.
Yeah, production assistant, yeah. And yeah, they're obviously an incredible resource to have.
Yeah, I mean, they're brilliant. I mean, so I also tried my hand at film and TV. You know, but now that we're here now, that venture failed completely.
Well, not quite.
Well, not completely, but I feel like as an athlete, I couldn't really get the creative side.
Word.
But you produced 3 films. The first one, of course, we can't say here. But the second one is called Racial Conversion Therapy. The other one is Solomon's Dream. In Racial Conversion Therapy, the guy that gets transformed
It's called Jacoby's Ladder.
Jacoby's Ladder.
Jacoby's Ladder, yes.
Oh, but it's about racial conversion therapy.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
One of your teammates was actually made a feature, Otto. In that
Yes,
one.
he did.
How was that working with? I know he's quite a character. He's pretty well known here at BU. How was
Yeah.
it working with him in that environment?
Well, dude, I mean, I loved his cameo. He's actually.
I saw it and I was dying. I was like,
He's the
"There's
first
no
shot in
way."
the film. Dude, I needed a white guy, and you know he's I love Otto, you know.
Big guy.
And I know he likes being in front of the camera, and he's got these, and we needed a close up of his eyes. You know, he's pale. He's like got this blonde / like ginger hair, which is really distinct. And yeah, he just made his little cameo, and he loved it. Yeah, he was super down. Otto's like always just like, if I need something from Otto, I know he'll come through. So yeah, I think he enjoyed being on set too. He didn't do too much. Like he just kind of laid there on a bed. So
Just doing his thing.
yeah, exactly.
So even your sport, basketball, can be seen as quite cinematic.
Yeah.
One of the clips that we're going to show here shows exactly that.
Oh, let's do it.
So there's like a certain type of creativity that I guess is bred when you kind of come from a city like New York.
Yeah, for sure.
How does that? And we just witnessed this there. Like it was brilliant. And you guys were playing Lehigh.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
How does that show in your game?
I mean, I feel like the best players are really creative, and the best, most like flashy plays are the most creative plays. You know, one of my favorite players is Kyrie Irving, and he's like a wizard out there.
He
Just
is.
like, you know, just creating stuff with his mind and body. And well, honestly, you know what I think? I think less the creative aspect, although that's important, but honestly, just like the energy that I bring, I think comes from growing up in New York. You know, growing up in New York, every summer there's these gauntlets of outdoor tournaments. Some of them are really famous, like, you know, Rucker Park or Tri-State Classic and stuff. But there's all over the city. And so, you know, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and even younger, and in high school as well, I'm going around parks playing in like 90-degree weather, super humid. And, you know, there's these random old guys that come and they stand at the gate and they're yelling at you. And so, like, you know, and then obviously, like, just the New York culture and the coaches that I had growing up were yelling at me at a young 5th, 6th grade, you know what I mean? So I feel like growing up in New York, you have no choice. If you want to be, if you want to be successful, you have no choice but like being an extremely like resilient player, you know? And I think that's at least how I want to be known, is like as an extremely like energy-driven like player who isn't into like being flashy, but's into like, you know, getting the job done.
Getting the job done.
Yeah.
Is there a player that you would say in the NBA that you model your game after, or is it also Kyrie?
No, I definitely don't model my game after Kyrie. There's no one that I would say I model my game after. I think I get a lot of comparisons to. Sometimes my teammates say like Marcus Smart or Drew Holiday or like Colin Sexton, like guards like that who are really like who are known for their on-ball defense, known for playing really hard, known for getting downhill, and being good defenders.
Sexton, he plays for the Kings, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
You don't like Colin Sexton?
He always shits on my Golden State Warriors. You know? always messes our things up. So also in an interview that we were watching, or that I was watching, it said one of your biggest factors into coming BU to harness, just getting the job done, was actually not the role of the head coach, but the support he had around him, the assistant coach.
Uh-huh.
So my question to you is, how important is that role that assistants have in college sports?
Oh, it's extremely important. I'm sure you know this as well. I mean, obviously, I feel like the head coach is very important, but a lot of times, like my interactions, like aren't with, and a lot of my coaching doesn't come from the head coach. It comes from my assistant. I mainly watch film one-on-one with my assistant coach, Coach Quinn, and I'm constantly getting direction from the other assistant coaches. And a lot of times, like if I'm feeling, unconfident or like I just need like a little like encouragement or something, that comes from the assistants, you know what I mean? So yeah, those are vital relationships to have with the entire coaching staff, because the coaches are a group that make decisions together, you know what I mean? So having a good relationship with them and allowing them to coach me is just important as the head coach,
So last season, you kind of made that jump with some of the awards that you got. You were all-conference, defensive all-conference, academic all-conference, all in the same season. First Terry to do that as well. So congratulations on that. That's big stuff.
Thanks.
And another thing is that, so in an article I was reading on you, you said on the court, when you're coming to BU, you want people to notice you. How did it feel that you did exactly that?
It's cool. It's good. It's good, I said that?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Word, okay.
You were getting interviewed by Scotty.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Was that my freshman interview?
Freshman year.
Okay, word.
Throwback.
Word, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it feels good. It feels good. But, I feel like now I'm at a point where it's like, I want to win. I want to win. I want to go to March Madness. And I think that, that's my number one goal right now. Not so much to be noticed. Hopefully, my goal is to lead my team, and I think in that way I will be noticed, but I don't think that's my goal. My goal is to win. My goal is to win a championship and bring a banner to BU.
So you're also made the Patriot League, like we said in the beginning, all preseason team.
Yeah.
Going into the season, as it starts to kick up, what can fans hope to expect from you and the team?
I think growth. You're going to see growth, and you're going to see a team that really just, loves each other and plays for each other. I think we've shown that we're a resilient team, and just with another year of experience, there's less explanation that's got to be done. We know what we got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Miles, everybody here at BU TV will be rooting for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on Live with Ty.
Of course.
So happy to have you here. As we never know what this brilliant man to my right has planned next, be sure to keep up with all things men's basketball and Miles Brewster as our season ramps up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And until next time, I'm your host, Tyler Johnson.